Hello, Mom. This is a report. Lesson 6, Elements and Principles of Art. Learning Outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to enumerate the different elements of visual and auditory art. Second, differentiate the principles of art. Number 3, provide examples of the interrelatedness of some of the elements and principles of art. 4. Explain the relevance of the elements and principles of art in the study of art and its products. Number 5. Illustrate examples of hybrid art and dissect what art forms are combined therein.
Elements of art visual. Taking off from the scientific reference, elements of art are akin to atoms that are defined as the units of building blocks. So when we say building blocks, it is the basic things that are put together to make something exist. Science and the arts are the building blocks of a good education. Of matter together in a variety of combinations and formations. They have the ability to create molecules such as water of the more complex sucrose. These formulations are almost the same with elements of art when they are joined together in a variety of ways. In the same line of reasoning, the elements of art are the aspects of an artwork that can be isolated from each other. For example, sculpture automatically have the following elements with or without the decision of the artist to include them: shape, form, and space. Without these elements, there is no sculpture to begin with. Elements are the necessary preconditions for the creation of art. To enumerate the elements of art and design are the following: line, shape, and form, space, color, and texture. First, line. A line refers to a point moving at an indefinite path. It has length and direction. It is one-dimensional. However, it has the capacity to either define the perimeters of the artwork, edges, and become a substantial component of the composition. Although a line is a simple, it has variation in view of its orientation or direction, shape, and thickness. Known for using lines to provide the outline of contour of the figures of the portraits in this work. Keith Haring first executed the public mural Todos Juntos Podemos Parar el SIDA, Together We Can Stop AIDS, in Barcelona in 1989. In 2014, it was recreated at the foyer of the Museo de Art Contemporani de Barcelona, Barcelona Museum of Contemporary Art, to commemorate in Haring battled with HIV or AIDS, to which is succumbed in 1990. A quality that is ascribed to lines is its ability to direct the eyes to follow movement or provide hints as to work's focal point, the orientation in which we are most accustomed to, such as assertive force of gravity ground objects, or the sideways or up and down vibration that inform us of an earthquake, the gustiness of a wind from the window, or the direction of the rainfall conjures different image of lines. Horizontal and vertical lines. So when we say horizontal, it also, while the vertical is generally considered the figure painter's line, the horizontal is known among artists as the landscape painter's line. So horizontal and vertical lines refers to the orientation of the line. Horizontal lines are normally associated rest or calm. Landscape often contain these elements as works like this often cannot a visual sense of being parallel to the ground. It also allows the position of the reclined body at rest. Vertical lines, on the other hand, connote elevation or height, which is usually taken to mean exaltation or expiration for action. Together, these lines communicate stability and firmness. So, diagonal and crook lines. So, when we say diagonal, it's also diagonal. Diagonal lines are straight lines that slant in any direction except horizontal or vertical. So, diagonal lines convey movement and instability, although the progression can be seen. Crook or jagged lines, on the other hand, are reminiscent of violence, conflict, or struggle. Next, curved lines. So when we say curved lines are lines that bend and change direction gradually. So, curved lines, these are lines that bend or coil. They allowed to softness, grace, flexibility, or even sensuality. So next, one of the most important Spanish artists is San Francisco de Goya. Known for his prints, he is a master of etchy works and use of aquascent. He made use of this medium to articulate political views about the ills of society, war scenes, and even the dream melt and grotesque while still engaging with what's happening around him. As with most etching and other types of points, lines are dominant visual components. Next, lines may not necessarily be explicit or literally shown as what may examples well portray. Implied lines may be just as powerful, if not more. In the Raft of Medusa, the position and orientation of the bodies that are aboard the raft are predominantly diagonal in direction. This created not only movement but also tension in the scene. Based on an actual event, the painting depicts the 1816 wreckage of the French government ship called Medusa. So next, shape and form. These there are related to each other in the sense that they define the space occupied by the object of art. Shape refers to two dimensions, first height and width, while form refers to three dimensions, height, width, and depth. Even if shapes are part of a bigger picture, each can be identified by breaking the visual components apart and making distinctions based on what we know and what we have seen. Two categories can be used as a broad distinction. So first, geometric. So when we say geometric, geometric, define object and space. So these shapes find origin in mathematical proportion. As such, its translation and use are often man-made. These include shapes such as squares, triangles, cubes, circles, spheres, and cones, among others. And second, organic. So when we say organic, shapes often curvilinear in appearance that are similar to those found in nature, such as plants, animals, and rocks. So, organic shapes are those readily occurring in nature, often irregular and symmetrical. The design of vase in Figure 55's foliage, a simple from series that made as a morning glory. So, lastly, shape may also be applied. For instance, Raphael's famous painting, The Madonna of the Meadows, depicts three figures with the young Jesus right and the young John the Baptist left, the position in which the grove takes allowed to a triangular shape reinforced. Thank you.
Number 4 is space. Related to shape and form is space. It's usually inferred from a sense of depth. Whatever is real or simulated, real space is three-dimensional like what has been previously mentioned. Sculptures are perfect example of artwork that bear these elements. However, this can only be manifested in two-dimensional artwork through the use of different techniques or the use or non-use of area around a drawing or picture. While two-dimensional artwork inherently lacks the depth of three-dimensional object, artists can employ techniques such as perspective, shading, and the use of space to create the illusion of depth and make the artwork more visually engaging. So, Anish Kapoor Cloud Gate 2004 located in Chicago kami sa picture. In the middle of the 80 and T Plaza at the Millennium Parks in the Low community area in Chicago, the iconic Cloud Gate occupies a considerable space. Shaped like a bean, hence its other referent, the public sculpture was unveiled in 2004. The dent in the middle of first of gap in which people can pass through and gaze at the sculpture in a different perspective. So the sculpture is made of this sculpture is made stainless steel and has smooth mirror exterior that reflect the surrounding cityscape and the people who interact with it. However, not all works sculptures. In two-dimensional artworks, they may be implied. They have a positive and negative space. Usually identified with the white space is the negative space. The positive space, on the other hand, is the space where the shadow heavily used. So, kung ano siya anong black and white, so ang black mga negative space. And the three-dimensional space can be simulated through a variety of techniques, such as shading and illusion of the dimensionality can be achieved in a two-dimensionally. When we say three-dimensionally, it refers to an artwork or a piece of an art nga naay height, width, and depth. Mura kag nasa reality na nagama siya illusion, mura kag nasa area, kita nimo nga naay floor, naay wall, din naay ceiling. Number 5, color. Color is perhaps one of the elements that enhance the appeal of an work. Its effect has range, allowing the viewer to make response based in memory, emotion, and instinct, among others. This element is a property of light as it's reflected of the object. So you try to compare an artwork na walay color or naay color or colorful, so you can really see life and beauty sa naay color, maka-enhance siya sa quality or appearance sa imuhang art. An upshot of the color theory, the creation of a color wheel. The color wheel corresponds to the first property of color. In the color wheel, we have this term hue. The dimension of color give its name. It can be subdivided into three: primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. Primary colors are the very basic color. We have red, yellow, and blue. Second colors is sa primary colors na combine mao yung second color. Ang example, ang red and yellow mahimong maka-create siya orange. Ang blue o yellow maka-create o green. Ang red o blue, violet. So the secondary colors is green, orange, and violet. Tertiary colors is 6 into total. These who are achieved with primary and secondary color are mixed. So ang primary ug secondary colors gimix mahimong tertiary colors. Kanang itipo ang primary colors ug secondary colors mahimong tertiary colors. 6 na sila kabuok. Kanang ang yellow o green mahimong yellow green, ug ang red ug orange mahimong red orange. So mo 6 na sila ka buok mo ng tertiary colors. And let's move on to another dimensional color. It's value. Value, this refers to brightness or darkness of color. Often this is used by artists to create the illusion of deep and solidity. A particular mood, communicate feeling, or in establishing a scene, and day and night. So sa light colors taken as the source of light in the composition. Sa dark color, the lack or even absence of light mao nang atong na night scene. And sa intensity, this is the color brightness or dullness. It's identified as the strength of color, whether it's vivid or muted. To achieve a specific intensity of color, one may add either gray or its complementary colors. Ang value nag-identify og light colors ug dark colors. So ang intensity nag-identify og color brightness or dullness. So naiuban na nga color ay sunay-uban nga kanang color na siga ug naay patay ra kaayo nga color. So bright or warm colors nagconvey siya sa positive energy. Sa dull or cool colors sedate, soothing, seriousness as calm. To be understand and density of color harmonies are to be considered in interior design way. We often hear designers refer to color schemes, a guide for selecting not only wool, paint, but also furniture and decor. However, color harmonies are also integral consideration, not only for pictorial art but also other art forms. So we have the monochromatic harmonies. Monochromatic harmonies use the variation of a hue. An example is Claude Monet's House of Brilliant, mao nang nasa picture. Sa complementary harmonies involve two color opposite each other in the color wheel. Since they are complementary position, the reaction is most intense. Examples is notice the altar piece featuring Saint Anthony Abbot and Saint Roch, along with the Saint Lucy, patron of the blind, whose red and green garb, beautiful suitcases, example of complementary harmonies. And the analogous harmonies make use of two colors beside each other in the color wheel. Example, Edgar Diaz before the race kanang nasa picture, o Edward Munch in the screen 1893. Mao nang kanang ang analogous harmonies kanang nagtapad nga color. Example is kanang yellow o yellow green. Mao nang analogous harmonies. Texture. Like space, texture can be either real or implied. This element in artwork is experienced through the sense of touch, but sometimes it can also be experienced through the sense of sight. Pag real ang artwork, meaning to say ma-feel yung mahikap nimo, nga gasgas ba or hamis ba. Pag implied lang, kasi kanang matanaw nimo sa picture, ma-feel nimo nga gasgas ba or hamis ba. So, often texture is commonly associated with tactiles. In the portrait rendered Becourt painter Franz Pourbus, the younger princess Margarita garb is adored. Opponent, bed, and stage work that are befitting her rank. This was achieved using the techniques employed by the artist creating the work. So, mao na siyang nasa picture.